the setting of the same. Your name is to be hallowed.
Adonai. From the rising
From the rising of the sun to the setting of the same.
your name.
Your name is to be hallowed.
And thank you so very much, Irish Kimui, for that music, and equally thank you very much to our video editor and the Boris. That is Brian Dida, who is our video editor. Likewise, we have Boris, who is equally our community manager on our Facebook page, Royal FM Cameroon. You can follow the program live on our YouTube page, Royal FM. You just type, if you type topics and realities, 6 December 2025, you get us live from the Thompson studio of Royal 88.4 FM. Let's move to talk about the Mutual Assistance and Solidarity Maso. And that powerful jingle take us to talk about the Mutual Assistance and Solidarity Maso. Maso that we are talking about has been since 2000, and we are moving to the 6th edition of the Mutual Assistance and Solidarity, which we call it Act 6 of the Mutual Assistance and Solidarity. We'll put an end to Act 6, which started on the 30th of June 2000, and 25 will be wrapping up on the 29th of June 2000. And 26 were with their 100 francs daily contribution into the Mutual Assistance and Solidarity celebrating the rich African culture. But we are going to have a raffle draw ceremony that will benefit or profit or give the opportunity for members of the Mutual Assistance and Solidarity to obtain finances that will take them right up to 2 million francs CFA. That these finances can permit them finance their different projects, be it in the agricultural domain, be in the small and medium-sized enterprises, be it in the informal sector. Let me just put it that way. And these finances can also go a long way to even help them in the education of their children. Finances in general, finances for them to be able to equip their different houses. We are also going to have on that day the raffle draw that will also give the possibility for mutualists to obtain automobile for especially those who have dream and aspiration to do business in the transport sector. They can obtain automobiles. And when we talk about the automobiles, we are talking about the tricycle, the motorbikes. We are equally talking about the taxis, the Hiace buses, the picnic cars, all those that we use for inter and urban transportation or within taxi fare, so that they can be able to realize those that dream. That will be done during the raffle draw ceremony. And equally during the raffle draw ceremony, we are going to have the raffling of a building or a house, which is a villa, a modern villa, which is about 3-bedroom, a sitting room, a kitchen, about 2 or 3 toilets, depending on the model. So we are going to have out this building or this villa for mutually. So those are the things that will be taking place in the raffle draw ceremony. But once you become a member of the Mutual Assistance and Solidarity, you stand that possibility to benefit from all the advantages, because the raffle draw ceremony is just part, or we call it the secondary advantages, but every member of the Mutual Assistance and Solidarity stand that opportunity to benefit from these advantages of the Mutual Assistance and Solidarity Maso. And when we talk about these advantages, we are talking about advantages that will permit you, that is advantages in the happy and sad moment. For example, if a mutualist who happens to be a member of the Mutual Assistance and Solidarity and lost the child, I'm talking about the biological child, when that mutually has between 1 to 5 years of mutualism, the mutual assistance and solidarity will give 150,000 francs CFA. If he has more than 5 years of mutualism, is 200,000 francs CFA. If a member of the mutual assistance and solidarity, I'm still talking about such moment of the members of the mutual assistance and solidarity, you happen to lose your partner, be it your wife or your husband, let me put it that way, your spouse, we discover that, and you have between 1 to 5 years of the mutual assistance and solidarity, the mutual assistance and solidarity will give you 200,000 francs CFA. And if you have more than 5 years of mutualism, they will give you 400,000 francs CFA. Now, if it happens that's something that we are not wishing for, but if you're a member of the mutual assistance and solidarity and you happens to pass away when you have between 1 to 5 years of the mutual assistance and solidarity, they will give you the sum of 850,000 francs CFA. And if you have more than 5 years of mutualism, the sum of 2 million francs CFA will be given to you. This is to permit you organize for your family, organize your funeral, and keep something. You know the place the dead have in the African community, in the African culture. People move miles, people move long distance just to accompany family members, friends, for them to be able to bury their loved one. And sometimes you see when somebody happens to pass away, they will put plates and buckets for the little contribution. That does not also dignify the human perspective. So that is why the mutual assistance and solidarity is taking all these applications to be able to give that aspect within our African culture, which is very specific. And you also discover that if you're a member of the mutual assistance and solidarity, you want to get married, the mutual assistance and solidarity will give you the sum of 150,000 francs CFA if you have between 3 to 5 years of mutualism, and 300,000 francs CFA if you have more than 5 years of mutualism. We also have 35% that you can benefit from all your health charges at the level of the Mamo Hospital Complex, where we have up to 9 members of your family where you can equally treat them from the Mamo Hospital Complex. We have legal assistance that we give it out to members of the mutual assistance and solidarity, and we'll come back for this 5 million francs CFA that is being given to mutualists after they have been member of the mutual assistance and solidarity with successful contribution for 20 years, and they have obtained the age of 60. Why 60? Because at the age of 60 you have less energy, you no longer have that power. And when we look at our government policy, there is no veritable policy that permits that permits old people for them to be able to benefit from the different advantages. If you look at health policy, government policy is mostly for children between 0 to 15 years. But when you look at those we consider as the elderly people in our society, we call them the senior citizens in our society. Sometimes it is very difficult for them to be able to meet the society standards, especially when they have gone for retirement. And sometimes these people, we call them the living library, but still yet they pay the same amount of taxi like us. They go to the hospital, they still pay the same amount of consultation like they walk in, and all the work and all the elderly age group people. We are going to go one day, and while waiting for government to be able to come out with such policies, it is also good that we try and make possible that we give life in abundance, especially after the age of 60. And we see those are some of the advantages. And to equally tell you that the mutual assistance and solidarity has 3 types. We have the Maso Classic, which I just listed the advantages. We call it have the Maso Seniority, because this is especially for older people who are above the age of 60, and they reach into the mutual assistance and solidarity. They to benefit from the different advantages I've talked about, but at the level of for the SAT moment, their fixed standard is 500,000 francs CFA. They to benefit from the different health advantages at the level of the Mamo Hospital Complex, because we know at that age there is a lot of dependency when it comes to health, and they too need to also be part of the society. We have Mato. You have the third phase of Maso, which is the Maso Corporate. It's an opportunity for us to enhance development through our village meeting, our community development meetings, so that when the mutual assistance and solidarity comes into your community, they permit your community to realize a certain projects through your different groups. So if you have community groups that you want to work with the mutual assistance and solidarity for the realization of some of these developmental projects in your different communities, the mutual assistance and solidarity is there to work with you at Developmental Group. Those are some of the advantages of the mutual assistance and solidarity. And if you have been contributing your 100 francs CFA daily, for you to be able to have 26,000 francs by the end of June 2026. We are on the 6th of December 2025. So at this point in time, you need to be at the sum of 11,500 francs. So you are just left with 14,500 francs CFA to be able to complete in 205 days, because as from the 30th of June, you have to start to benefit from the different advantages of Act 6 of the mutual assistance and solidarity. And on the 4th of July, we have the raffle draw ceremony. I know somebody will be asking, those who are listening to the mutual assistance and solidarity for the first time will be asking that, what is MASO all about? MASO is the mutual assistance and solidarity built on the African spirit or values of solidarity and assistance, values that promote us to be engaged ourselves into what we call the solidarity economy, which says that one hand doesn't tie the bundle. I am what I am because of you, and you are what you are because of me. When we put these values together, we are going to develop the African continent. We are going to develop not only Cameroon, but the entire African continent. Welcome to Bisai University Institute. In vocational training and field of studies, nursing, odontomatology, kinesiotherapy, laboratory technique, medical images, required level, the BAPC, probatoire, baccalaureate, GC, ordinary, advanced level, with work study internship consisting of 20% theory and 80% practical, in a modern, calm, pleasant, comfortable and favorable environment, with an experienced and dedicated teaching staff, carefully selected, an administration that has placed the student at the center of all its priority, and the practice of bilingualism, which offer the possibility of studying in French, in English. The start of the vocational training is set for September 2025. The best student in each field of study will be directly recruited into the group Renapo Finance SA. Bisai University Institute, our campus is located at Ekono, precisely Garage des Chevaux, near the Presidential Guard, Yen Yaoundé. Contact us at 693-930231, 699-026366, 697-264284. Bisai University Institute, simply created for your well-being.
Bienvenue à l'Institut universitaire Bisai. En formation professionnelle, nos filières, sciences infirmières, odontostomatologie, techniques de laboratoire, kinésithérapie, radio et imagerie. Niveau requis, BEPC, probatoire, baccalauréat, avec des stages en alternance sur 20% de théorie et 80% de pratique. Dans un cadre de travail moderne, calme, agréable et studieux, avec un corps enseignant expérimenté et dévoué, sélectionné avec rigueur. Une administration qui met l'étudiant au centre de toutes ses préoccupations et la pratique du bilinguisme qui offre la possibilité d'étudier en français ou en anglais. Rentrée professionnelle fixée au mois de septembre 2025 pour l'année académique 2025-2026. Les majors dans chaque filière seront directement recrutés dans les entreprises du groupe Renapro Finance SA. Institut universitaire Bisai. Notre campus est situé au lieu-dit Ekounou, garage 2 chevaux, à côté de la gare présidentielle à Yaoundé. Contactez-nous au 693 93 02 31 699 20 63 66 697 26 42 84. L'Institut universitaire Bisai, créé tout simplement pour votre savoir-être. À la MASO, vivons simplement nos valeurs africaines.
Topics and realities.
Every Saturday on Royal FM.
A weekly program brought to you by the English desk of Royal FM.
Royal FM.
The clock strikes 3, the week is done. The sun is shining bright. Good afternoon, good people. Settling in just right. You're locked on Royal 88. For FM where the airwaves flow, for the show that knows the answers and helps your knowledge grow. From the headlines trending to the questions on your mind, the things we talk about, the truth we have to find. No surface whispers here, we dig down to the core, preparing you for living and so much more. It's topics and reality. Yeah, your Saturday afternoon talk show. We capture the topic, get the facts, and make the understanding grow. Oh, topics and reality, with the experts in the studio light, bringing the complex down to earth to make your life feel right, bringing you closer to your reality. Yeah. We bring in the best minds, the voices you can trust, to treat the topic fairly and shake away the dust. No theory in a textbook, just application clear, taking the subjects that you care about and calming every fear. From the headlines trending to the questions on your mind, the things we talk about, the truth we have to find. No surface whispers here, we dig down to the core, preparing.
I want to say thank you very much, Rich Kimwe. We are still on topics and realities, coming to you live from the Thompson studio of Royal 88.4 FM. And just to say, our access code this afternoon is 640-613-842-671-157321. Those are our different numbers. You can send us an SMS on the number 675-595284. Those are our different access codes, 675-595284. Now, let's also welcome some of our guests who are already making their interest here. We equally have some that are still battling out. I got the information that some are still blocked in traffic. And we are also going to, because I have indication from Rich Kimwe that Mr. John Niba will be calling us from the far north region today. So we are going to have all of them. But good afternoon to you, Njita Stanley. It has been a while, eh?
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Abel Bella Samari. It has really been a while.
So how is it going?
No, everything is fine. Everything is moving, though the country is a bit shaking. But we hope for the best.
No, but I heard the minister was saying that everything is coming back to normalcy. People should not be panicking. And then when you say everything is moving, but though, are we still having pocket resistance? Are we still in the post?
The MTN Yamo Zone and stay connected with good deals on yamo.mtn.cm or dial *220#.
Topics and realities, a 2-hour debate program on Royal FM. Royal FM.
Thank you so very much, Irish Kimu. Yes, Tali.
Yeah, as I was saying, though, if the minister say everything is coming back to normal, yeah, it's true, but we still live with fear.
Yeah. Okay. Rich Kemwe says that we have John Niba, who is calling us from the far north region. Good afternoon to you, Mr. John Niba.
Good afternoon, Abel, Bella, Samari, and all your panelists. The network has not been the best.
Well, equally, we have a lot of difficulty. I thought it is only in Yaoundé that we have this issue of network problem. Do you also face that kind of situation in the far north?
Abel, you are so naive to think that they should be...
I should be naive that way because I'm not there.
Yeah, because if you are thinking that the network should be poorer in the capital city than in the regions, then you should be so naive, Abel.
Yeah, because we have a lot of people. Perhaps we have a lot of people down south, more than people up there. The number of people using the network, all the stuff. Don't you think so?
Abel, you are a journalist. You are not a network technician.
So, John Niba, how is life in the far north region?
Okay. Okay, live in the Far North region, the people's hearts are on a standstill watching the situation that is unfolding in Meganga. That has extended right down to Garwa Bulai. If I ask many people where Garwa Bulai is found, they'll be thinking that it is in Garwa, maybe in the north, but Garwa Bulai is found in the east region, Ebel. And you know, the camion drivers, what they call group hotel, they decided to block the road since Wednesday by 3 a.m. and the road is still blocked up to today. People who left Chad, this Far North region, North, Adamawa, and they are traveling are stranded up to today, up to now as we are talking, simply because an overzealous gendarme slapped a camion driver.
This is serious. Thank you for that information. But with you, gentlemen, let us find out what has been making news in Cameroon as reported by the newspaper. You will be with us from the Far North region. We equally have Stanley. We have Roger Campbell who will be joining us shortly. And Evans William Jobati have been collecting what is making news in Cameroon throughout this week as reported by the different newspaper. Good afternoon to you, Evans William Jobati.
Good afternoon, Abel. Hello everyone and welcome to this other edition of What's Making News in Cameroon. According to the newspaper review with me, Evans Williams Jobati. La Nouvelle Expression breaks the news of the sudden death of Anissé Ekane in its headline, Nécrologie, toute la vérité sur la mort d'Ekane. The Eagle's Eye speaks of a legendary Anissé Ekane caught up by death. Daily Voice is still saddened that another famous opposition leader has died in detention. In the same tone, the Guardian Post says the crackdown on opposition has gone wrong. Le Jour titles Anissé Ekane, 1951 à 2025, ils l'ont tué. Innovation cues in revealing that the latter would have been killed for supporting Kamto and Chiroma. Le Point front page, Opposition, décès d'Anissé Ekane, arme en main. Intégration pays special tribute to the nationalist in a 3-page article. While Mutation, Le Messager, La Météo and other tabloids interrogate themselves on the crime that the deceased might have committed. Le Drapeau on its part pictures the condolence messages from the government to the concerned family. I Can't Breathe, it's the title from La Voix du Consommateur. Cameroon Tribune set sight on the regional elections with the caption, "We are waiting." Horizon also is not satisfied by the way the regional elections were conducted. The pilot gives ample reasons why the regional elections is useless given our present context. La Lune comes in with the final statistics from the Director General of Elections, Dr. Eric Essousset, noting a river without waves. Ligne d'Horizon evokes a rapture after the presidentials of 2025. Afrique Info reveals that traditional native doctors are in motels in Yaoundé. Elsewhere, Le Grand Titre pictures Samuel Eto'o and Paul Biya shaking hands. L'Aigle du Sahel headlines Fake à foot, Samuel Eto'o réélu pour 4 ans. L'or régnera. Le rapporteur comments, I quote, Caterpillar Nai ko move me for ya. President Eto'o reboots is the header from the Observer newspaper. The Voice calls the persistent drama in the football sector as chaotic, with calls for President Paul Biya to immediately intervene. L'Info show is certain that the 12 million for both Panther and Colombe will cool temperatures. On its lane, Newswatch presents a very disappointed Mark Brice who finally reacts following his exile at the helm of the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon. And it is with that we end this other edition of the press review with me, Evans Williams Jobati. Wishing you the best of the programs in the company of Abel Bella Samari. Till next Saturday, I'm done and dusted.
And thank you very much, Evans William Jobati. I'll begin maybe from John Niba, who was the last speaker. Mr. John, I don't know. What caught your attention? Is it because the biggest news this week has been that of football as well as in politics, the death of Judge Anise Ekane.
Yeah, I begin with the political news to extend my condolences to the family of Mr. Anise Ekane, who has been a political figure since the 90s. Those are people, if you talk about Anise Ekane, you talk about Jean-Jacques Ekinis and the new John Frundis, who forced democracy down the throat of President Paul Biya and his government. And today they are telling us that we should know that President Paul Biya said they've got democracy, but we know that people like Anise Ekane forced it down his throat. And then even today we have lost back the democracy. We are living in terror, in fear, in constant menace, in constant threats that are coming from all directions of the government. And so I wish him, I wish his soul to rest in peace. And I pray that his demise should not go for nothing. I think his death should appeal to the consciences of government and decision makers to be able to good decision and stop multiplying errors. I think the outing of the Minister of Communication was a deliberate admittance of the fact that Anise Ekane would have still been alive had it been listened to him, which is some sort of confession that they hastened his departure from this world because he failed to listen. Which type of government functions without opposition? If you want the opposition to speak only with the government voice, then it is a country where there is no opposition. The minister cannot be forcing the opposition to say only the things that are pleasing to the government. And opposition ceases to be opposition immediately. It starts saying only the things that are pleasing to the government. Now I want to leave that there to move into Mark Brice, like the paper reported. I think Mark Brice, the Minister of Sports, since the time Eto'o was voted into office, I think 2022, Mark Brice and the Minister of Sport have become so popular, and they have become, I think they are the best men in Cameroon.
Yeah, the actors of football. We don't talk about the players, we talk about them.
I'm talking about football because those are only two people, Mark Brice and the Minister of Sport, who could look at Samuel Eto'o in the face and tell him the truth without looking at his billions and expecting that they will gain something from it. Because those who surround Mr. Samuel Eto'o, they are not speaking any truth. They are not helping Cameroonian football. Cameroonian football has gone down. We have.
Do you think it's still longer? Johnny, but do you think it's still longer football? We are talking about politics.
Yeah, it is now politics and not football. And that is why you have teams like Njalakwan, they are disappearing. Kajispor is suffering. Bambutu Sobunda suffered and all that because there is a lot of politics and there is a lot of cost settling. The president of Fecafoot, I'm sorry to say this, is into settling costs than causes than actually working for football. Because I begin to ask myself, what stops Mr. Samuel Eto'o from making that Cameroonian local football should be mediatized?
But don't you think that he's more of a diplomat in his role that he's playing today? Because when he play friendly games with people like Macron, and after that they sit and discuss, don't you think that he has a very defined mission? If go by what you said earlier, that football now is more of the politics that we see it. Is he not playing that diplomatic policy that he sees him talking with some foreign head of state? Maybe he's discussing on behalf of the country and playing the role that he has been assigned to play this role.
If I felt that role, if I felt all what you are saying, if we are feeling it in local football in Cameroon, we'll be very happy.
No, we are not talking politics, not football.
Can you allow me to talk?
That's what I'm saying. That if you say we are not talking politics, not football, then we should look at the football in the political way.
We are talking politics linked to football, Abel, and the politics linked to football should develop football at the base. Let football be played starting from the third divisions coming up. Let us have stadiums that have been constructed by Fecafoot owned stadia. Let us even have TV channels that can broadcast Cameroonian football.
Okay.
And Samuel Eto'o should not concentrate on the national team where they can easily steal money and abandon the local football, kill teams, manipulating referees.
Okay,
you
John
know
Diba.
that it is only during President Samuel Eto'o that a single referee will have to referee 5 matches in 1 week because the others, they don't want to use them again because they are not speaking well, because they dare to ask for their accumulated salaries.
Okay, you stay with us. You stay with us. We are going to come back to you. Yes, Stanley, what caught your attention from the press review that you think is worth talking about?
Really, what caught my attention is about football and politics, as Mr. John Diba just finished saying. So I think what happened in recent days, it was something very, very...
Were you expecting it?
Yeah, I saw it coming already because, you know, it was something...
I heard some men of God were already giving prophecy that a serious politician in Cameroon will die. Do you also see in that light?
Yeah, I didn't see in that line when they talk of...
My very good friend George by just smiling.
Yeah, when you talk about the death of a politician, I never saw it in that direction. But when I talk about football, I saw things are happening, the sacking of Mark Brice and changing of other things. I saw it because, you know, since Mark Brice arrived Cameroon, they have never been in good terms with Samuel Eto'o, and the Minister of Sport never been in good terms with Samuel Eto'o, and Mark Brice in his own side have shown...
Because Fikafu said that he was very, very subordinate.
Yes.
He doesn't respect hierarchy. Do you think that in an administrative setup, they should allow somebody not respecting hierarchy, not following the rules and regulations to continue to be there?
No. If it were left on me, Mark Brice could have left this country before now.
Okay.
Because he was so insubordinate, as I can say. Because Samuel Eto'o is a legend and a citizen of the country. If you come to a country as an employee, even whatever happened, you need to respect people at some level, irrespective of the fact that there was a problem. But he could have stayed neutral. Instead of going to media space, talking about Eto'o, criticizing Eto'o, yes, Eto'o could have a bull of contention with the Minister of Sport, but Mark Brice could have stayed neutral as somebody who have come to work, so that Eto'o will also give him space, because within the context of the football, Eto'o have his own capacity and right to do some certain things. Meanwhile, the Minister of Sport still have his own side of doing things. But the only thing is that they have bring politics into football and nobody want to listen to another.
Yeah.
Because each and everyone now say, I am in charge here. Since you have refused that, I cannot come here.
This way.
When you reach my own turn, you will not be here.
Okay. So now it is what is crumbling, and we cannot realize grassroots football, like what John Diba was saying, being played. But there's a question I also want to ask the two of you gentlemen, because when I go through the press this week, especially, I want to focus more on the death of Anise Kane. And there's this question that has been bubbling in my mind. John Diba, do you think that Cameroon is safe to live in? Let me first of all start with Stali. Yes, John Diba, give me 1 minute, because Stali, what you wanted to say. Do you think Cameroon is safe? Especially is it a land that you can sit and do politics without any fear or favor?
Absolutely. Like, I came here, the first thing, my first remark was that the country being the way it is, things are coming back to normal, but I bet you we are living in fear, because the country is not a country of doing politics. When I see politicians dragging rope today, I look at it in such to an extent, I see that politicians of this country, they have really lived the affair of the state, and they are doing personal interest. They have it at a personal interest. Any little thing that each and everyone want to do is for his own benefit, and they go to an extent of meaning, if you try to block anything, they can kill you. Because the issue of Anicet was, the lawyer started talking about this respiratory item, that
it's oxygen.
Yes, it's oxygen. They started talking about it, but nobody listened to it, to show that at least they had a plan, or maybe they never take it serious. But to an extent, look at what happened. It was I can say it was a deliberate mistake, a mistake that they knew, and that they could rescue the situation, but they never do it. So when you look at the politics in this country, it really gives you fear. And for me, when I look at it, I feel like we should go back to that one-party system. If opposition can talk and nobody listen, it's better we get back to the one-party system and behave like nothing is happening as opposition in this country.
Mr. John Niba, we saw Meganga be blocked. We saw the CRM could not organize an extraordinary Congress at the level of his party headquarters here in Yaoundé. We saw the death of George Anise Kane. We saw his family rejecting the autopsy proclaimed by the government. We saw the reaction of the different political class, not the religion class. Are we really safe in Cameroon?
Yeah, Abel, before I come, we equally saw the outing of Minister Paul Atanganji, who said Anise was involved into serious crimes. And I begin to ask myself, is the minister is now a judge to determine or to qualify crimes? Because we know that it is the law, it is the role of the judiciary to determine who is involved into serious crimes. We saw Minister Atanganji repeating again that Anglophones are never marginalized in Cameroon, and we know what that statement has cost Cameroon for close to 10 years today. So don't forget that outing, a very dangerous outing. We saw him declaring that Monsieur Anise Kane was sharing tramadol to children, and I expected him to call the names of some of the children and tell us where they are today or which laboratory did the test. That confirmed that you cannot sit and say things knowing fully well that Anise Kane did not have that opportunity to defend himself, just like the Samuel Wazizi who disappeared without defending themselves, just like the Divine Gota who died in prison without defending themselves. Cameroon is not a safe place to live in, Abel. If you live in Cameroon and you go about your simple duties, that means if you don't look whether government embezzles, if you don't look whether ministers come out, whether ministers do what or do what, if you don't talk about government business, you just leave you like a fool, maybe you can live long. But by the time you start acting like us, questioning or proposing to government or questioning why certain things happen, you will notice that you will live in perpetual danger. We saw it with Maurice Kamto in 2018 and even in 2020. We have seen the Bibunisa who are still in prison up to today simply because they express their political opinion. So, Abel, if you ask me whether Cameroon is a safe place, I will tell you that politically, Cameroon is very dangerous. And then again, socio-economically, Cameroon is equally very dangerous because since about 3 years back, the prices of basic commodities have skyrocketed and salaries are not following up. So it becomes so difficult for families to cope. We equally have the Boko Haram crisis here in North where I am found. You see how military people die, families. Last Sunday in church, we were praying for 3 young people below the ages of 30 that Boko Haram killed in one village here. We equally see what is happening in the Northwest and Southwest. This night, about 4 people were killed in my village, in Bafut, in Foya. And we don't know what happened that people will come into a place where somebody is doing a small cafeteria and shoot everybody. So with these examples, we are going to tell you that Cameroon is not a safe place to live in. Cameroon would have been a good place if there is a regime change. I think if this regime goes away, we will feel safe.
But now that it cannot go away, now that there is no regime change, what are you suggesting that we, the people, we do to be able to be safe? Yes.
I don't know. I don't know what. I don't want to be. I don't want that.
No, I don't want you to go emotional. We are discussing. I'm asking the question, and you are struggling to give an answer for the understanding of our people.
If you ask what I'm suggesting, or what I can advise the people is that we refuse to be slaves. Gone are those days of slavery and slave trade. We must speak out and we continue to denounce. Even if we denounce and die, let's continue to denounce. Because we are building the future for our own children and the children's children. We cannot allow a few people to sit on the world of nationality of this country and then bully us to submission. We refuse that.
Okay. Now, there is this boiling question I wanted to ask you, Stanley, because when you follow what John Niba just said, we discovered that the crisis in the different parts of the country, if we find ourselves in a situation where Cameroon is totally back, because we are still having a pocket resistance at the level for the Anglophone crisis, the far north region is still there. We see the east region, the borderlines are not also safe. And we are still having now the internal economic situation. What should be able to be done by the authorities to be able to salvage? Did Dodniba talk about the speaking out, the advocacy? I know he's a man of the civil society that always has the people. What else do you think that we can really do to be able to bring the conscience of those who are supposed to take the right decision, able to take these decisions?
Well, like what the speaker just finished saying, we will keep speaking out. We see it on the press, the media, we talk. But what I would advise a Cameroonian is to like going to the street to denounce using some kind of vulgar way of approaching things. It will always lead to death, and which we don't support people dying. Even whatever is the case, I don't support the fact that people should go to the street and they are being killed, because each and every time we go to street, even peacefully or whatever means, they will end up being killed.
Yeah.
I don't know who killed.
The end
who at
result is
time.
very, very dangerous.
So I prefer that we should keep talking. And then the issue also with the authorities that are there, that they can harmonize and bring a good solution. They themselves, they should have a conscience. And then there is a way of approach. I think if people keep speaking one language, without using force, and at certain times you decide to abstain from some certain things that matter to them, like when they call some kind of important meeting issues like political meeting, everybody boycott and say, okay, if it's only that when we come
we
for the meeting,
have municipal and legislative elections that are coming up next year, we should boycott that also. Do you think it's possible? Well, or don't you think that it's time for Cameroonians to start the change that maybe John Diba was talking about from the municipal and legislative by putting the right people there?
That is
and giving an absolute majority maybe to the different parties at the level of the National Assembly.
Yeah, you know, the problem of this country is at the level of higher position. With municipal elections and council and other things, I'm not seeing problem there, because when you look at back in my own community in Ndu subdivision, the council there is working perfect. You see they exhibit their project as required. You see them working very, very serious, and they have the community at heart. For that, I see that the problem is around the partisan politics.
Yes, John Diba.
The council in Du is working perfectly, but that did not cause the reverend pastors of the CBC Baptist Church to be killed just for nothing.
Is it the council? Is it the council of Du who killed the pastor? Is it the?
By the time the council is working well and the citizen can be killed at any time by just anybody, you cannot say the council is working well. Abel, I want to come in there to say that.
Yes. No, you're just talking in terms of development. The council don't have that power to provide security to its people. Perhaps that was what you were saying, John Diba.
If you talk to the mayor of Ndu, that my brother there is saying that the council is working well, the mayor will tell you that since 1996, that decentralization law was voted, and then whether it's 2013 or when, that they created the ministry and all that, and it went effective. That mayor who is suffering in Du has not received all the competencies that were supposed to be transferred to him. The mayor is under the powers of either a Dio or somebody, of which the mayor is elected and the Dio is appointed. The mayor is elected and the governor is appointed. And somebody who is elected renders account to his electorate so that he can win another mandate. But somebody who is appointed is only rendering service to the person who appointed him, to the detriment of that person who is working to look for another mandate.
In essence, now, what are you saying?
The GOs and the governors should not dictate it over the mayors, because the mayors and the councillors have more powers, and that the competencies should be transferred from Yaoundé.
So everybody, the GOs and the GOs and the GOs, the divisional officers, the governors be elected? Is that what you are advocating?
That is exactly what they call decentralization. Like we have in Nigeria, where they elect the governors. Each state has elected governors and officials.
You have even taken the language from where I ended, and you are going to another direction.
They are voted out. So I think that what the new council is doing, that my brother is congratulating. the new council can do 100 times that thing if what I'm prescribing is respected.
Okay.
And I will be the last person to call on Cameroonians to boycott any election. No.
Okay.
The legislative and municipals are coming up. We should be ready to go out and vote before Elekam will falsify the results like we saw everywhere. Before government will steal as we saw everywhere.
Can we take a
But
publicity,
let the
Mr. John
citizens-
Niba?
Let the citizen go out and vote first.
Okay, let's
before
take
they
this
start
publicity.
claiming that it was stolen.
Let's take this publicity that will be coming up. But before then, yes, you were saying something, Mr. Niba. We'll come back to you.
Yes,
Yes.
what I was saying is that maybe he have taken it another way direction. I never
Mm,
talk
what
of
were you explaining?
boycotting election. I never talk of boycotting election in this country.
Yes.
Boycotting election is the last thing I will ever talk of. Now my problem was when things organizing things like a political party will come to Elekam for discussion and other things. It's better they should just sit and wait for the day to come in, because when they come in, it's as if their decision doesn't count. Their idea doesn't count. I didn't say that we should boycott election.
We should be there.
Yes.
We observe.
Observe.
And we look at what is happening. Maybe give the contribution that our people deserve to be able to change this country. Because what you are saying is very pertinent. We live in a very difficult moment in Cameroon. First of all, there is this aspect of tension. There is a local parlance that says that a hungry man is an angry man, and it is very common to see Cameroonians in a very angry mood just because of that hungry face that we are. But before then, we are going to move to our main topic of discussion today, and our main topic for discussion, we'll take it after this little break.
Il est 17h, bro. C'est l'heure de win chez Orange. 6 voitures de l'heure. 50 voyages pour atterrir au Maroc, plus des milliers de maillots de Lions et des centaines de millions chaque semaine avec Orange Bonus. Combi, Nagle Jazz 111 étoiles 1 Jazz ou avec Orange Money au Jazz 150 Jazz. Orange est là. Chez Orange.
Orange est là. Topics and realities.
Every Saturday on Royal FM.
A weekly program brought to you by the English desk of Royal FM.
Royal FM.
And if you are joining us, we are on to topics and realities coming to you live from the Thompson studio of Royal 88.4. And our number access code this afternoon is 640-613842, 640-613842, 671-157321, 671-157321. The program is topics and realities. We'll move to our main topic of discussion. The Minister of Territorial Administration in administrative letter sent to the governors in the different regions of Cameroon, asking them to make proposals for the creation of more divisions in Cameroon and subdivision. They should give the different information concerning the population size, the needs of the people, for them to be able to realize this government project. And the question that we have been able to ask so far, and the question that is a lot of Cameroonians are asking, how possible can a division be created without knowing the exact number of people living in that area? Will this not be in the hands of elites and politicians? Will it not continue to bring the divide and rule between elites and politicians? How secure can the governor's decision help for the development of its people? So we are going to do some of the questions we are going to be answering in this session. And I want to start with you, Stanley. When you got the news talking about the governor sending out a message to the Minister of Territorial Administration, sending out messages to governors to make things possible for the creation of more divisions and subdivisions without the census. What comes to your mind?
Well, when I see that press release, it baffles me because I know with the creation of division and subdivision, we need to start with population census, then the geographical location, the economic of the zones and other things. We go deep into that and check it out, so that when we want to give the division or subdivision, we give it in order of merit. And when I see it that way, what comes to my mind is just what I said before, that there is a lot of selfish interest, which one cannot really define the angle where it's coming from or where it's going. But I thought I know that creating division and subdivision is a good thing, but the problem is the strategy they are using is not the perfect one. Because when they say that governors, DOs should follow up those things, I begin to doubt whether they can be a good representative. Because when these things are handed to DO governors, the decision will be made by some particular people, which we need to get to the local indigenous, to get from them the landscape, the population. But this is when, if we could have the population census now, getting now to those people would be the perfect one. But now if we can only limit it to governors to write and give, governors will not go far, like to do pass go right to one, to make all those things. But they will just see, governor will sit in Bamenda, why maybe SDO will sit in Kambe and call some few people and get things from them, and take maybe the map, the population census, what they guess, which are that maybe the figures are real. So when I heard about that, I think it was not that much good. But for me, we don't know, because they say population census is coming up in the first quarter of 2026. I don't know whether they are taking this thing. They will do the population census before releasing the subdivision or the divisions they are about to carve out. We don't know. But I think there are a lot of things ahead. We don't know whether they are doing so that by the time they are doing municipal elections, they will include those zones there. There are a lot of things, and we don't know how political those things might be. But I feel that the thing will create a lot of tension, because really people will not be fully represented.
Now, John Diba, you are a teacher. When you go to school, let me take this caller first online, who is calling us this afternoon. Online number one, we want to take this caller. Hello? Hello?
Good afternoon, Mr. Bala Samari.
Yeah, good afternoon to you. It's a pleasure for us to have you on the program.
Yes.
They gave me the ball.
You were asking whether is it good to do politics in Cameroon. And Cameroon is not a safe place for us to do politics, you know, because there are things that the ruling party is doing that you should not see it and speak. And if you speak, know that your name is die. Your name will enter in the book. And you follow the others. So the advice that leads to the public is that they should just leave them do what pleases them. And that's all, because I don't like politics, because politics will let you to where you don't know. So leave politics to politicians, and then you do your things as a mumu, as if you don't know what is passing, because now he is gone and left his family behind. So I don't prefer to do politics and leave my family behind. So politics, if you ask my point of view, is a very bad thing. It makes someone to be very afraid of the country. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. Yes, Mr. John Diba, I was asking the question. I know civil societies in Cameroon have been fighting so hard that a population census should be done in Cameroon. But why do you think it is taking so long for the government to be able to carry a census? Is it the lack of money? Is it the lack of will? Or somebody just said that the situation should be like that, Cameroonians should not be able to know the exact people that they are, so that they do the political maneuver, and maybe during elections, and maybe during the distribution of the national cake, as we put it.
To that caller by saying that it is her opinion, but we think that it is the politician that determines the future of our own children, our own well-being, the prices of commodities in the market, the prices of petrol, the prices of medicine in the hospital. They are the one who decide how to share the money that is paid, the tax that is paid by Cameroonians. And they are just bullying also that we allowed what concerns politics so that they can do just anything and embezzle the money just the way they want. So I will never be d'accord with the mother who says people should abandon politics. If you abandon politicians will just use you and dump.
No, he was maybe talking on the perspective that life is not becoming so meaningless in the hands of these of some of these people. Perhaps it would be good you stay apolitical for your own safety. Yes.
We have seen worse regimes like those of Mobutu, who did worse than what we have is happening in Cameroon now.
Okay.
But they came to pass. Let me come back to the question.
Yes, John Deba.
Firstly, we have to know that it takes a lot of money to organize a population census.
Yeah.
You said I'm talking as a teacher.
Yeah.
And let me take you back memory lane that the last head count in Cameroon was organized in 2005.
Yeah. About 20 years ago.
In 2005, I just had my advanced level, and I was fortunate to be one of the enumerators, those who counted in Babisi town, in Ngokutunja division. We counted in 2005, and the results were only released in 2010, 5 years after. 5 years after, when many people have died, people have traveled, others have come in, newborn babies came, and then they waited 5 years after to release the result in 2010. That is to tell you that government wasted that money because that census did not help us. Maybe government was just doing it to tell the world that there was a census, just like the Grand National Dialogue that was held to tell the world that there's a dialogue, really knowing that it will not solve the Anglophone crisis that is going on up to today. Now, but I also want to talk like a teacher to make you understand that there are different ways. Is apart from the head count, moving from door to door to count people, there are also other ways which are not really efficient that they can do demographic study. So the government has been using that one to estimate, to say that we are about 30 million today, which the margin of error is very large as compared to when there is head count. But I would also like to tell you that even when we counted, this is what happened in Babisi where I was counting. You will go to a house, you will see a man, a woman, and 2 children, but they will give you a long list of about 15 people and tell you that they are living in that house. And then you need to fill the list on the questionnaires. People had, the elites manipulated the people with their own ideas, and people had to give wrong information because they were telling them that if you lie that your population is high, they will give you a school, they will give you a hospital. So it was so terrible at that time in 2005 when we did that census.
Yeah.
So now, I think that the government has ordered me to estimate, even with the errors, the population of Cameroon. So, if government thinks that there is no money, and then government has priority, and then the census is not part of the priority, government can still base on estimation. But now, the problem here is, it is a good thing for us to have more divisions and subdivisions, because, let me explain to Cameroonians, the fact that the creation of divisions and subdivisions is to bring services very close to the users or to the public, so that somebody will not live in Ndu and is moving right up to Bamenda town for whatever thing. Are you getting me?
I'm getting.
So if they can create divisions and subdivisions very close to the users, it will help them save time. It will equally help them save resources, and services will be very effective. The treatment of documents and all that will be very effective. But now, Cameroon government should not put the cart before the horse. Let me tell you that even right now, the way Cameroon is structured, when President Paul Biya took Cameroon, Cameroon had 7 regions. He created 3 regions. But today he is telling us that the form of Cameroon should never be touched again, of which he himself touched. And he touched it because he saw the necessity of bringing services closer to the people and also responding to the growing population.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that it is a good thing that more divisions should be created, but a thorough population census should be done in order that when we are dividing the divisions and the subdivisions, we should not do the biased division that we have now. Let me also tell listeners that.
But we just not create, because the person who is supposed to hand this project is the governor. And the governor now is supposed to decide. Perhaps you will go in Bafut and say, okay, Bafut have 45 villages. Because of that, how should this be done, since we cannot be able to carry this? Should we go to the estimate? Will it not create that tension between elites in our society?
No, Abel.
Yes.
Abel, don't bother the fact that he's a governor. The governor is not an island. The governor has representatives. We have the DO's office in Bafut. We have it in Wa. We have even the traditional set of the palaces. We have the castles. We even have through these organs. I'm telling you, those are auxiliaries of the administration. They can give information to the governor. The governor is not supposed to personally go to Misaje, where the CPDN had close to 15,000 voters, to go and count people. The governor will sit and delegate representatives on the ground to do the counting. That is how administration is done. If the governor must not move around, but the problem is that Cameroonians don't have confidence in their leaders again.
How can you say that?
The leaders are betrayed. We don't
How
trust
can you
them.
say that, Mr. John?
We don't trust our leaders again, and they need to do a lot in order to win our confidence back.
No, that is why they are creating. They are going back to some of these issues. Maybe I will come back to you, but still, I also want to find out. Creating an administrative unit requires a lot of budgeting, because do you think that with the socio-economic situation that we find ourselves, do we really have that human resources, that manpower, that technical know-how for us to be able to create these different administrative regions, bring the administration closer to the people? Are we going to be having that when we still have cases of teachers who are not still be able to receive their salary? How is the government going to be able to meet all this?
Yeah,
no census, because of the fact that they don't have money. But creating these different subdivisions, adding the number, maybe from 58 to around 200, maybe from 360 that we have, maybe to around 500 administrative units. Do we have that resources?
No. For now, I think we don't have that resources, but according to what Minad Boss said, he was talking in reference to some particular things which he named about the population, the infrastructures. Yes, this was a way of telling the community, the local community, that while you people are coming to present certain things, you should at least have what you can assist the government with. When you say, okay, we need a subdivision or we need a division, you people can have this. It's just the same like they give you school. Then communities start building school. They just give you a number, a registered number.
Yeah.
And the community will start building the school.
So the administration will give it, the people start to build the administrative offices.
No.
Is it possible for us?
According to what he said, was that they should have we can start from there. Yes, before government will start seeing into.
But do we have the structures in most of these our villages, our subdivisions, that if administration is coming, they are going to find ready-made structures in terms of I talk about infrastructures. Do we already have them in some of the village? I take the case like what you are saying in Du. I take the case of Tumbo. I take the case of the Wat, or the other villages that might be there. Do they have that infrastructure that today, if we say, okay, there is a subdivision that they are going to carve from Du, that in Tumbo will be from away from Du, and Tumbo will have the infrastructures to be able to manage administration?
Yeah, there are some some blocks, some infrastructures in Tumbo that can accommodate that. There was an old fish pond where people they had a fish pond in Tumbo. Now it's no longer functioning. There are blocks there, and presently the blocks, the technical school is using part of the blocks. Then there is also this.
Where they will host the DO's office, host the divisional offices, all in that locality.
It might not hold all, but at least
that
they
is
have
what we are
something
talking
to
about,
start
the
with.
infrastructures.
Yes, they have something that we can start with. So when I will tell you that. But for everything, that is dragging the government behind to do census before the creation of new subdivision and division. I think it's a problem of finance. And then secondly, a problem of insecurity that is happening around some regions and Anglophone crisis. And also the access, you see, because we can, if we like field census, those who will go to the field in Northwest and Southwest, it will not be easy.
Yeah.
Because when they did the census in 2005, it was supposed to happen in 2015, but that 2015 they could not. 2023 they could not. Now they are programming for 2026, which I also wonder if it will really happen, because they are depending on a budget or sponsors. Because last time the budget was at 64 billion, the one they programmed for 2015. But this one now they adopted a bill of 13.2 to 3 billion, which I doubt whether it will really sustain the
economy of the country.
Yes,
So
the activities of the census.
Okay.
Yes, based on the locality. So when I look at it, I think that the problem of delay is this insecurity we are having in the country, the crisis, the finances that we are having today, and then the lack of modern equipment for data collection.
Yeah.
Because like you have said here, Mr. Niba have said here,
people give wrong information.
But
what are they doing to be able to have the latest data equipment that they need?
Yes, that's what they need. With it all limit around finance.
Okay.
Yes, from there government can acquire it and we get into what we need.
I will still come back. But Mr. John Niba, there is this school of thought who believe that the creation of these divisions, administrative divisions, is for the fight against insecurity. For example, the dividing villages will help the police, the gendarme to be able to install and maybe fight against the separatist fighters. Same thing, the Boko Haram in the far north region, the insecurity. What is your stake? Don't you think that the creation of this will be able to break down some of those hard-hit areas and bring maybe security in those areas?
I started by saying that the creation of more divisions and subdivisions is a welcome initiative. It's a good thing, because it is not only security worries that will be addressed. We'll have what I already explained. We are equally government is going to create employment, because when they create new DO office and subdivisions will be many new councils, people will be employed to work there. So it is a good thing. So it is not only a matter of security that will be handled. There are so many things that will be handled. Now, one of the fears that I entertain here is that the Northwest and the Southwest region will normally be left out. And like I saw already in the draft, something that was posted on social media, I don't know if it was very good, you will see that the Northwest and the Southwest have not been touched. The Northwest maintains its 7 divisions and its subdivisions, and the Southwest maintains the 6. They have not touched anything there. Meaning that either security challenges have stopped people from risking to go there to find whatever thing. Because to do a census, like my brother in the studio is saying, if they needed to go there and take information from the North and South, it will become very difficult. And in that particular event, the Northwest and the Southwest will
But do you think that it is
automatically
proper?
be losers.
Do you think that it is proper to do the creation of new divisions and subdivision without a touch in the Northern and Southwest region, where we have places like Akwaya, where we have places like Boya subdivision that is so large, where we have places like with a lot of 45 villages, where we have what are some of these areas?
It is not proper, Abel. You know, some of us even call after when you go to places like Ako, moving to Sabongari, they are very far. How will somebody live there to come to Nkambe for whatever problem? Those are places that we thought something should be done at that level. Coming to Bafut, you know, Bafut is joined with Tuba. And we have, you know how Bafut is large. Bafut extends right down to Mai 37, where they call Mbako, where that is Ndong. And then moving around, those are large places. And then they take Bafut and join with Tuba subdivision, and we have Bafut, Tuba, and we have only one parliamentarian. One of the things you need to know is that with the rise of awareness, political awareness, with Cameroonians being aware and taking part in politics and struggling to vote out the present regime, the regime needs to cut places that are highly opposition inclined so as to weaken them in order to continue to remain in power. That's the political aspect of it. Like what explains the fact that Bafut must be linked to Tubac under AUKUS, because Bafut is entirely and from onset Bafut has been opposition inclined.
How can
So
you
they
say
punish
that?
us with
Don't
one
you think that you have
parliamentarian.
people of the opposing party within Bafut?
The people are there, but I'm telling you that if you go there, you count them at the tip of your fingers. Even right now, we have a mayor from Bafut Council who is a secret mayor, where we don't know where he was voted and we don't know where he works. So those are some of the things. But security regions is good.
But don't you
When
think
they
that
divide a
yes,
place,
raising
they-
the
they will be-
politi- raising the political dynamics of it, don't you think that we are further plunging the creation of this into what we call the tribalistic natures that we have? Some villages will become victims of other villages. How do you think that the aspect of tribalism should be handled in this process, so that elites don't claim, because of their powerful nature, they claim everything to a particular region or village?
Well, to me, the worst form of tribalism is the one that the state is practicing, where people will be arrested, people from a certain ethnic group will be released, and others, they will say you remain in prison because you are talking about this or all those things. Let me tell you, like my brother in the studio who said Ndu is developing. Go and check in the council of Ndu. They are the people of Wimbum who are there. They are the Ndu people who are developing it. In that case, tribalism is not really a bad thing if everybody who lives in that particular area, if your interest is taken into consideration. But when we start seeing instances like what happened in the South region, where a traditional ruler had to break and destroy the signboard of the CRM party, saying that it is a party of the West region, that is where tribalism becomes dangerous. And it is this regime that is making tribalism to become dangerous.
Okay, now
because I myself here, I am in the far north here. I don't feel any way maltreated. I am here, I live with the people we share. I am an Anglophone from the Northwest, but I've met this year, they cook and invite me, we eat together, we do our things
That is the
together.
living together
I'm
we
not
have
seeing
in
the tribalism.
Cameroon. Beyond politics, we are one people. There is no. So I love what you are saying. I love the last part of your statement, which we shall be coming to you. But we are going into the creation of divisions, subdivisions, and you know, a lot of people says that this is a fundamental bedrock when we come to the divine and rule system. Stanley, I want to tell you, how do you think that we should be able to handle disputes that will arise from boundaries, especially when we create some of these divisions? Because don't be surprised that they can take a village in Adamawa and they clinch it with a village in Donga Mantun to form now a certain aspect, form an administrative unit.
Yeah, that is something that would be very challenging. But first of all, I would say that the idea is good to create the division, because first of all, when like Mr. Nebaf said, we cannot be talking about creating division and subdivision without putting northwest, southwest, and northern region, northern part of the country as a top priority, because we are the highest now. Coupled with the insecurity in the northwest and southwest, it is very difficult to move. For example, you see somebody who will live in Taba to Nkambe now on bike, and now that they have blocked the route of Nkambe, before you go to Nkambe now, you need connection before you ever go to Nkambe. So now these are things that they need to consider them by bringing the government and services closer to them. When they don't mention them, though it's still a rumor, it's not yet finalized, I think that they should put them into consideration, because they are really suffering. We are suffering from there, because I've been there and I know what it takes to leave maybe Magua to Ndu. You really feel challenged. But with that boundaries to carve out, I think we need to really follow out the traces. We should not just, because we want to calculate the population. Now, like he said before, with the population census, or what the governor, the DO will be needing to do all those things, he need to go down to the local indigenes, the local authorities, and meet them. Now, if you are from Adamawa, meaning you are around the West region, and the people around from West Region, Adamawa, yes, the people.
Can I take this call online? Hello?
Mr. Ibrahim.
Yes, this is Ibrahim,
Yeah,
the citizen from Long Point Express.
Exactly. Good afternoon to you, our brother in the studio, and good afternoon to all our listeners and the other brother in line from our northern part of the country.
Thank you so very much.
Mr. Ibrahim.
Yes.
Why do you people like destruction in this country?
How can we be destroying our own nation, Ibrahim?
I said distraction.
Discussion.
Distraction.
How are we distracting the people?
Yeah. One, I think this country, that the way of this country, the way that they impose things to us is about 29 years today. When they say that Cameroon is a unique country and decentralization. Let me just ask a simple, foolish question. Where has that decentralization taken us to? We are now to this 29 years today. We are still
we already have the regional councils. We had the election last week. That is a part of the decentralization. The North and Southwest has special status. Give it in them from the major national dialogue. Then the decentralization has permitted councils to be able to realize certain projects. Somebody just told us how Ndu Council is working thanks to this decentralization.
So after 29 years, just to assume that this is second term that those guys will take in. The first term was to do what? So after, they just assume that it's 20 years. After 24 years of decentralization, it's today that we think that we can start applying the decentralization. Don't you think that people are not serious? Today we are not supposed to talk about experience. We are supposed to talk about recording the impact of decentralization.
So they should not create new divisions and subdivisions in Cameroon again to bring administration closer to the people, Ibrahim.
The one that is there, they are not even making good use of it. Is the other one that they will make good use of it.
How can you say that?
How can I say that? Just imagine.
Are we not making good use of the divisions? Are we not making good use of the subdivisions?
Mr. Ibe.
Yes.
Before the ongoing president took power, we had 7 regions in Cameroon, 7 provinces in Cameroon. They turned it to 10 regions, thinking that they have done something very extraordinary. Where have we been since then? Changing of the name, adding 3 regions into it. What have we gained after all those adding and subtracting everything and change of names? The problem is not the idea. The problem is, are we going to harvest the fruit of the idea that they are talking about today? How can they imagine such a thing? How can you give money to cook food in your house when you don't know how many children you have in your house?
How can you say that? You are living with those children, you must know them.
You must know them to know how much you will give to their mother to cook their food. You cannot have 5 people in the house and you don't even know how many are there. You take money and just say, go and cook food for them. So before you give something to people, before you share something to people, you need to know how many are there before you share something to them. So I don't even know. My uncle there, I used to call Atango my uncle. Then my uncle, the guys have his own way of doing things that you don't even know. They were supposed to reinforce that mayor's powers, not to create another offices that they will instead put their people there to work for them and distract people that they will finally, after another 29 years again, we will still be talking about the same thing without the impact on population.
Okay.
All those things, let me just
Thank you very much, Ibrahim. You can come back anytime. Your time is up. Yes, Stanley. Yes, John Niba. I know you are with us.
Yeah, I think every Cameroonian is entitled to an.
Are you with us, John Niba? Okay. We just miss him. Yes, Stanley.
Yeah, okay. Like I was saying before, if we want to do, when they will be carving out, they will meet the authorities, like the mayors, the traditional leaders, who knows their zone very well. And then by doing so, you cannot leave maybe Donga Mantum to cross to Adamawa region to start asking information from the people in Adamawa have their own zone, which they have people that they will talk to them. So we cannot cut off that boundary to give to them. Or before then, they will know their zone, or people will be there to give the right information to the people.
Yeah.
And then talking about...
Can we just indicate that John Niba is online? Let's verify. Hello, Mr. John Niba?
Yeah, Abel, I'm getting you 5 on 5.
Okay, we'll come back to you. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, and then, like the caller who have just dropped said, we cannot keep clicking in the past. We cannot always rely in the past. We had maybe 27 or 29 years, as he's saying, but something must always be done.
Yeah,
we cannot keep relying that what have they done with the one we had.
The
problem in this country is that you and we the masses are the ones suffering. So if they decide to bring maybe a council at the level of Ntumbo, like we were saying before, living around there, it will be very closer to me to go and do maybe my birth certificate, the police station. I will go and do this. It will facilitate it for me. But if you start looking at the higher level, and they end up not doing it because the ones that are there, they have not done anything, like you have said. But we are still feeling the consequences, and we have done nothing about it. So the one they can bring in, that we look at the positive side of it and take it.
Okay. Now, Mr. John Niba, yes, we have you online. You wanted to react before I ask you my question.
I wanted to tell the caller that as population increases, it is but normal that services should be decentralized, and then more councils, more governors' offices, and those offices should be created. It is normal. And then secondly, if had it been we had good leaders who had the people at heart, they would have corrected the mistakes that they did at first with the division of Cameroon into regions, divisions and subdivisions. Because when you look at the south region that is very small, Abel, you are the one going to the National Assembly. When you see the number of parliamentary seats that are assigned to that place, you understand that the number is justified by the fact that many people in the south region support the ruling party. So all those examples can be corrected now if they had people at heart. But now, when I just saw the draft that was published, the Northwest and Southwest that has lost a lot of its population, parties in Nigeria, some are internally displaced in the West, in Douala and Yaoundé, that population may just help those places to benefit from more divisions and subdivisions. Meanwhile, the North and the South, which is their regions of origin, will be abandoned the way they have already started abandoning.
Okay. Now, but the question I wanted to ask you, because when we go by statistics, we discover that, I take for example, in 1992, we saw the creation of the BLM division, which was from the Fontaine subdivision. And Fontaine subdivision was part of the Manu division, and which was upgraded to a full division with its headquarters in Menji. Now, when you look at this, the question we are asking, creating all of this, are we going to have the number of parliamentarians increase, or we are still going to have a parliamentarian controlling 2 or 3 subdivisions like what we have the Akko Messager Speaker constituency, where we have the Mwa Special constituency, we have the Ndu Kambe Central, the Fako Central, all those stuff. How are we going to do at the level of the national representation? Not only of the fact that we are bringing the administration closer to the people, but how would you think that the national representation should be done? Should we increase the number of parliamentarians that we already have 180 for them? Should we increase the number of senators we also have? Should we increase the number of councillors that we have in our communities?
Thank you, Abel. Any region that is affected, that means any region where they have created new divisions and new subdivisions, automatically they will have a new council, the number of constituencies will be increased, and automatically the number of parliamentary seats will be increased. It's automatic. But if there are some regions like the Northwest and South that have been abandoned, maybe because parliamentarians from those parts of the country always question government, they don't want to increase more questioning. So any region that will be affected, if they increase a new division, if there's a new division that's created, a subdivision, just know that number of councillors will be increased, the number of councils and all that will follow. They set up the 180 parliamentarians that we have been teaching for years, and with Kabaye Jibril as a mountain in the National Assembly will have to change if this adjustment is done. Those are things that normally, naturally will follow suit.
Okay. Now, I come back to you. How will this representation done when we have the number of increase? Because we saw Johnny by saying that automatically it needs to, but that has never been the reality. If we go by 1992, the number that was added, and if you look the statistics, you discover that the Kunki subdivision was easily created from the West region equally, but this number doesn't increase representation. And we say that creating divisions, subdivision, is to give the people more representation. Stanley.
Yeah, like Mr. Neba have just said, they will increase because they cannot just add the division, subdivision, and leave it at that moment, at that level, and tell people that they are bringing administration to the people or services to the people. One thing we need to know is that as they create the council, the division, the subdivision, the people now, that is a way of telling the people that you people have your own activities to manage. So you need a representative who will be going there to administer or to table your complaint at the parliament. Now, if they could not add, they will give what you have just said, the Aku and Messager constituency that the special statute they join. Yes, they join. If they join, it still shows that at least you people have a representative where you can run to or you can ask questions to, except otherwise. But what I know is that they cannot create all this without additional seat at the parliament. They will definitely add it.
John, I have a question coming from Etienne to you, which he says that the ring roads have not been realized, and we have most of our subdivisions that are not even linked to the divisional headquarters by roads. Creating some of these divisions and subdivisions without a concrete road plan in Cameroon, how successful would that be?
Okay, thank you very much. I understand Etienne. I want to greet Etienne Menjo. It has been so long. I understand his worry. He's talking about national roads because by the time more councils are created, they are going to take care of secondary roads. And the ring road is a national road. The fact, hello?
Yeah, I'm getting you.
The fact that President Pobia has failed since 1982 to start the ring road must not slow down local development.
Okay.
If we were waiting for the ring road before Nkambe is developed or Ndu is developed, then Ndu people will still.
And the ring road was supposed to pass through Bui division.
We don't like. And then I equally want to point out, I know you people, Etienne is very attached to sport. Do you know that Bang Bullets of Nkambe, a club that made us who admire Cameroonian football and especially Northwest, proud of them at one moment. That club was deliberately relegated because the other clubs like the Canons of Yaoundé, the Douala clubs complained that to leave Douala and go and play in Cameroon was too far. And they obliged Bang Bullet to receive its matches somewhere in Kumbu. And Bang Bullet also refused that they are entitled to home advantage. And then Fecafoot now went in to kill that club. It is because of the largeness and the far distances. And if this effective separation or division or creation of divisions and other things is done, you see that those type of problems, even in sports, are going to be solved. You equally mentioned Menji. That is in Lebialem, the capital of Lebialem. What you mentioned, I want to use the opportunity to ask whether there is a parliamentarian of Lebialem or the parliamentarians from that place in the National Assembly.
Yeah, he's a parliamentarian from Lebialem division.
To leave Chang, I think you should invite him. Let him come and explain what they are doing with the road from Chang right down to Alo, passing and going down to Menji. Because to leave Chang and go there, the only means of transport is a motorcycle, and you pay 15,000 from Chang to go there, to go to that place, and the road is very bad. Many people are dying on that road, and many people have equally deserted. You know, that was where Field Marshal used to operate. That place has been deserted. It will be very difficult to get a real population census because there are many houses abandoned in bushes. There are government schools all abandoned in bushes, and they are counting and doing division. I don't know, but that parliamentarian, I think his priority should be that road from Chang going down to Menji, because that's the only road the people are using.
For example, your case that you are just taking, you cannot leave Boya to Menji within the roads in the southwest region. You need to pass through regions, and to be able
Thank
to
you.
go down to this place. This is administration that sometimes become very difficult for the common man to handle. But the big question we are also asking, even though we still have some questions, Stanley, is that is it the right moment economically for us to think about census in Cameroon? We talk about to think about the divisions. We have poor villages where life is very difficult. We have a lot of rural areas in Cameroon that does not even have electricity, because if you want to create, we might be upgrading some subdivisions who have never seen electricity, some of these basic commodities in their entire life, to full-time division. And how do you think that is it the time for us to think about it, looking at the economic situation we find ourselves?
Absolutely. If you are looking about the economic situation in this country, I think we should have said no creation of division and subdivision, because we are really suffering. You see price hike everywhere, prices of foodstuff, transportation, everything is so expensive. Then the economic crisis is very tough. So if we can still remove some expenses to go and do that, we are still crippling the country. Yes, because for now we need to invest on those projects before it can ever realize something. When they will install the council, the medio and other things, maybe before that's when we can start realizing certain things. But for now, I see Cameroon, because every day we are borrowing billions upon billions. So I think it's not the right time now to create division and subdivision. But whatever the case, when I talk, I think of my own self. I see it more advantageous, because if it was done so in a good faith, it will really help people, especially the northwest and the southwest, because I know what I've been seeing there, the challenges they are facing, the distances. You imagine that if you live in Tumbo to Ndu, which was at first was 500 francs, now it's around 3,000 to 4,000 on a bike. You imagine that if this kind of expenses you run every day, like for example, somebody, for example, my mom, who's around 70 something years, will leave to my village to go to Ndu for retirement benefit. How much is it? Sometimes they block road, sometimes you see it stress them a lot. But if they bring it closer to them, that you can take some few distance, you reach there, it will really help them. It will really help people. But for now, when you look at it, you see that we are really suffering economically. So because politics have come and drain us. And now, if we look again in the situation of when you look highly to some level, you see that maybe it's at a result of trying to curb the crisis that is hitting northwest and southwest, or northern region or east region, because the more they bring the administration to the people, the things like police, gendarme, some kind of structure will come, and with that, security will curb down, because it will keep pushing those people who are destabilizing the life of people. They will keep pushing them far, because when the distance is too much, they have time to come and strike, like the Boko Haram in the north. But if those structures, the military are coming closer to those typical villages, it will really benefit people a lot.
Johnny Ba, you work in the far north region, and I know you know Mokolo subdivision very well. And for you to leave from Mokolo subdivision to another subdivision, which they call the Bura, you discover that there is no tar road. And the question a lot of people are asking, that out of the 360 subdivisions that we have to Cameroon, not up to 200 can boast of a tar road. Do you think that economically, this is the moment in Cameroon we should be thinking about creating more divisions and subdivisions?
We have to create more divisions and subdivisions, because the population of Cameroon imposes it, and then the security challenges poses that on the Cameroonian government. Whether the roads that were supposed to be tarred 20 years back have not been tarred, it's like you accumulated something. It is not supposed to.
But we do not create a situation where you transfer somebody to this area, you will call it a hinterland, a remote area. I will not want to go and render the services there.
The government knows that very well. And let me tell you that the fact that more councils are created does not stop the former ones that have been existing to generate their own income. The problem of Cameroon is corruption and the bad governance that has been portrayed by the Bia's government since 1982 is bad governance. Cameroon is producing enough resources to tar their roads, but there is embezzlement of state funds, there is corruption. If we can fight that, all these roads will be tarred. And I wanted to see the creation of councils and divisions as a positive thing, not negative.
Okay.
Because it will help the councils to develop farm-to-market roads. That will help farmers to bring crops from the farms to the market, and prices of commodities in town will drop. It is a welcome initiative, but with this type of government that we have, if there was a regime change, we would have been happy that something can happen. But
okay.
Are they serious this time around?
I'll come back to you. Let me take this. Let me take this call online, Mr. John Diba. 1 minute. Hello.
Mr. Ebe, just
Yes.
1 minute, please.
Yes.
I'm simply waiting to see how they will go about it. Because for me, what we have was supposed to, we have not even used the smallest decentralization that they even give it to us. Where are we going to find those people that they will occupy the new coast? The one that they have been occupying since God knows when. What have they done? With all this, Mr. Ebert, the question is, what is the impact in the small population? Sometimes we see the small impact up there, but all these things that they are doing, if the population is not feeling the impact, it's just that, I don't even know how to qualify it. It's not even good. For me, there's no reason to continue adding things that we population, we don't even feel the impact.
Thank you.
We should talk about the impact before we act.
Thank you. Thank you. John Diba?
Yeah, just give me. I know we are. Hello?
Yes.
I know we are driving out. I want to say here that, a caller, first of all, said what we are talking about is distraction. Yes, it may actually be distraction because what we expected to have as debate now is why President Pobia has not yet appointed a new government up to today, since he was sworn in on the 6th of November.
It's just barely 1 month.
Are the ministers in place still legal? Have they been given? Have they been renewed, or they are functioning now illegally?
Maybe we'll find time to talk about. No, maybe we'll find time to talk about. Let's talk about this burning issue of creating divisions and subdivisions, John Diba.
Yeah, that is distraction created by the Minister of Territorial Administration, so that we should not ask why new ministers have not been appointed up to today, and whether they who are still in function, are they still legal? Did President Pobia renew their mandates?
Yes.
That is a big question.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. John Diba. It's a pleasure for us to have you today. I want to wish you. Are you coming down south for Christmas?
Are you even sure that the road at Meganga will be open before Christmas?
Anyway, we'll discuss that. Thank you so very much. Out there, greet the entire people of the Far North region. Those who come across on behalf of Royal FM, we say happy or Merry Christmas to them. Yeah, Stanley, I come back.
Thank you very much, Ebel.
Yeah, let me take this caller online. Hello?
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Larry the boy.
Yes, I'm coming back because a caller called to find out why the ruling party up to now is not able to make it work, to come out with the strategy they have. They can't come out because the opposition is putting them back on the wall.
Okay.
They have put them a cow.
Yes.
So they are confused. They don't know on which leg to dance on. So they cannot come
The
out
question
with
we are
something
asking, Remy
which
the
the
boy,
other person
is
will
that
come with a contrary.
good?
They
The
make
question
it
we are
very
asking
clear.
now is that do we need the division? Maybe we'll have time to talk about that one. Maybe we'll have time to talk about why there is no new government for now. We just discovered that it is barely a month that President Pope. We are going to be evaluating that. Yes, Stanley, we are moving out gradually from this program. But if you have to talk about these new divisions and these new subdivisions that will be created in the days ahead, because findings are already being done, what should we take into consideration? Should we carry the old mentality of public administration where corruption, tribalism, nepotism is so high, or we should move with a new dawn of a new mindset that will be able to realize the fact that creating these divisions and subdivision is a way for us to go closer to our community and maybe change our rural areas into urbans. Why not city centers?
Yeah, absolutely, Abel. You're right. Your question is so pertinent.
Somebody is insisting. Let me just take 1 minute. Hello?
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. Rapidly, 1 minute.
This is Mr. John Day.
It has been a while, Mr. John Day.
Yes.
I thought that you have also left Cameroon like others.
No, I'm around my brother.
Oh, try and look for me now, my brother.
Don't bother, I will look for you.
Thank you so very much. Yes, rapidly your point because we are moving out of the program.
Yes, true that we're moving out of it. I see the idea of the Minister of Territorial Administration is a welcoming one. It's very welcoming because we have some areas that administration is a problem because the distances to live from your area of residence to an administrative environment is very far, making it so difficult for Cameroonians to meet up. And that is why we want that the decentralization should be implemented appropriately so that it will bring the administration closer and more closer.
Thank you very much, Mr. John Day.
Okay.
Can we talk other time on the program? Yes, rapidly, Stanley. You are rounding up because we already have Jean-Marie who is joining us here in the studio.
Okay, yes, about the creation. I think, like Johnny Ba said before, the population of Cameroon have lost trust in this government, present government.
People say that?
Yes, he said so.
We cannot
So
this is our government.
Yeah, and this is high time they should build their trust back by doing the right thing. So if we are to create this division, we should create it with the spirit of integrity, transparency. Yes, we should have that in mind, and we should know that we are there to give back to community, not to give back to the government. This is a mistake Cameroonians, authorities, or maybe representative feels. Because when you leave your constituent and go to National Assembly, or sometimes they behave like they are answerable to the government. Not the community.
Which is a serious problem.
A serious problem. So I think that we should look back into the community with a good heart, with a good faith. Know that I'm here because my community needs me. Community needs something. And then coming back to decentralization, as I will be rounding up.
Yes, rapidly.
Yes, I will be rounding up. Decentralization, I'm seeing it that the problem is the people who are there to work now.
Okay.
Because when I will always tell you about Ndu when I look back to Ndu. Because government have given back a basic education to councils to handle it. And then
are they doing it?
District hospital, I'm seeing it. Schools, the council of Ndu have built schools, primary schools in Ndu. Not 5, not 6, more than. And then they have renovated schools. And then district hospital. So when I look at it, I see that some
councils are doing it, others are not doing it. But we need